Hey everyone, welcome back to today's video. So today we're talking about two of my favorite makeup products to review. We're talking about a brand new foundation and a brand new concealer. So I'm very excited for today's video. They are what I'm wearing right now to give you guys a little hint. If you like what you see, then we are talking about the CoverFX new foundation. This is the Power Play foundation. Again, brand new. CoverFX just released this. This is a $44 foundation. You get 1.18 fluid ounces. You actually get a little bit more than your typical 1 ounce foundation. Now, I personally really like the CoverFX products. I've tried a lot of their makeup. I have a lot of their makeup. I use a lot of it. I just seem to, really like a lot of their stuff. So I was drawn to their new foundation. This is actually a more matte foundation, which is not the norm for me. I'm not big on more matte foundations, but with summer coming up, I was like, you know what? Let's give it a try. This also comes in 40 different shade options, which is great. It has light skin tones, dark skin tones, everyone in between. And the thing that I love about their foundations as well is that they come in like neutral tones and golden undertones and cool pinker undertones. So it's really easy to find a great shade match with their foundations. The thing that I will say I'm not a big fan of is like the squeezy tube kind of that it comes in. One, it's like really not that squeezable, so it's kind of like weird, but then it also just like comes out. Like when I open the cap every single time, like product actually comes out of it. So it's a little bit messy and a little bit wasteful, but that aside, we are testing this out today. Now I will go over the ingredients with you guys because I do, I'm an ingredient junkie. I look at ingredients with everything I put on my skin. The ingredients that CoverFX uses, CoverFX usually leaves out a lot of like the nasty chemicals. Now I will say when you look at the ingredient list, you're gonna see alcohol on the list, but it's very low on the list. It's like the second or third from the bottom. So it's a tiny, tiny amount. That I will let slide because they actually keep out a lot of the other stuff. They keep out phthalates, they keep out fragrance, they keep out parabens, they keep out mineral oil, and just like I said, just like a lot of the stuff that you really don't want to be, using on your skin, they keep out. So all in all, it's a pretty good ingredient list and I'm okay with putting it on my skin. Now the other thing we're reviewing, and I told you guys it's a brand new concealer, is the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Concealer. This is a concealer stick. It comes in like a cream twist up like this. This is a full coverage 16-hour wear concealer. So again, you got your long wear, you got your full coverage. I mean, that just sounds like a winning combination for a concealer to me. This concealer is $25. There's 5 different shades and I like the ingredients. Obviously, Bare Minerals is a mineral type of brand, so better for your skin ingredients as well. So that's what we're doing with the under eyes today. So like I said, I have the foundation and the concealer on now. So if you like what you see, then let's get started. I'm gonna zoom you guys in. We're gonna apply everything together. You're gonna see how it goes on, what it looks like close up and all of that. And then we will go throughout the day and I'll check back in with you guys at the end of the day and give it like the full day wear test where we can really see how the products hold up throughout the day. So if you wanna see all that, then let's get started. All right, first things first, we're gonna start out with a little primer. This is the Glow Skin Beauty Fill Perfecting Primer. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna apply it all over my lines and pores because this really plumps out the lines and smooths over lines and really helps with pores. So I love this just to give me that flawless base because it truly smooths everything out. So let's go into the foundation now. I picked this up in the shade N40. So I'm thinking this should be a good match for my skin right now. It's kind of like a medium skin tone, neutral undertone. That is what the N stands for. So I'm gonna give it a good shake. And I am gonna use a beauty blender with this today. And look at this, you guys. Look at when you open this up, do you see how it just like spurts out product and it doesn't stop? Like it'll keep coming out. They need to fix that. I've actually not seen any reviews on this. I don't know like how much product you need. So I'm gonna start out kind of a little bit slow. Because a lot of times with matte foundations, like if you go too much too fast, you end up with like too much on your skin and then it looks cakey and just like a mess. So I'm gonna kind of take it slow and just kind of build if I need to. Okay, this is actually kind of drying fast too. So keep that in mind. It's definitely drying on my skin a little bit quicker than I thought. Like I said, I usually don't use matte foundations like this that much. I kind of forget how they go. Okay, so that was just like one very light layer. I am gonna do a little bit more because again, this does say it's supposed to be full coverage. So it kind of seems like, because I actually got like nice light coverage with just the amount that I applied. So you can obviously just apply less and you won't get that super like full coverage either. If you are not a full coverage person, like you guys know I'm not a complete like full coverage girl. So I like that you can still get a nice coverage and just apply a little bit less and then you get more of like a light coverage. Okay, so here it is after I applied a little bit more on my skin and I'm just looking up close right now and it's honestly flawless on my skin, and it's not heavy at all. I don't think I applied it up to the full coverage though either. You could definitely probably apply even more and get even more coverage. But looking up close, my skin just looks so perfect. The foundation looks like skin. I'm not seeing anything that looks like it's sitting on top of my skin. Like, it blends in really well. My pores look great. My lines look great. But again, that has a lot to do with that primer, because I'm telling you guys, that primer just perfects everything. It just makes any foundation just look that much better. So this one just looks absolutely incredible on my skin. The N40 is a pretty good match. It's actually a little bit lighter than I thought. I probably could have gone up to the N50, but with bronzer and everything, it'll come together at the end. But right now, first impressions, first applied, it looks absolutely amazing. It looks beautiful on my skin. I'm excited to see how this wears throughout the day, but really right now, I am loving the way this looks. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go do brows and a little eye makeup, because that's what I do next in my makeup routine. And then I'm gonna come back, sit down with you guys, and we're gonna do the whole concealer test. We're gonna see how that works out. And then I will also do like the rest of my face products with you guys too. So I'm gonna go do that real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, so we are back. We got the brows on, we got some eye makeup on. The foundation still feels amazing. I'm actually super impressed. It is very lightweight on the skin. My skin looks like skin so far, so good. So let's pull out this concealer. Again, this is the Bare Minerals Bare Pro 16-hour concealer. This is in the shade Light Medium Neutral. Now I tested this out kind of just on the back of my hand, and it looks like it's gonna be the perfect match. I don't like to go light under my eyes. I pretty much like to match my concealer to my foundation, and this looks like it'll do the trick. So what I'm gonna do to test out this concealer is I'm gonna use my corrector on one side and then no corrector, just the concealer on the other side, because I really wanna see kind of how much coverage we can get out of this and just how flawless it can be, maybe with a little bit of a help if you do use a corrector versus if you just want to straight out use just the concealer. I kind of just want to compare the difference. So I'm going to use the corrector on one side. This is the Bobbi Brown Intensive Skin Serum Corrector. I actually really like this corrector. You just need a little bit and just pat it onto any dark areas, which mine are always like right on the inside here. You just pat a little bit on and it completely cancels out and corrects that darkness. So I'm just going to dab a little bit. Like I said, you just need the slightest bit. So I'm just going to dab a little bit of that on to the one side of my eye, and I'm just going to pat that in. You can see it just takes very, very little product to really get that darkness to cover up. So you can just see that tiny little bit of product on this side of my under eyes versus this side with nothing. You can just see what a little bit of help that gives the under eye. So now let's go in with the concealer. Now I kind of felt this concealer. It's like a little bit, more of a creamy texture. I'm not gonna set the concealer. I think I'm gonna test this without setting and just really kind of go throughout my day and just see what we can do without having to set powder, because I know there's some people that really like to powder their eyes, but I know as we get older, a lot of people wanna skip that whole powdering the under eyes. So let's test it out kind of just completely powder free. And what I'm gonna do is just do a little bit under my eyes. And again, I'm just gonna pat it. I'm not gonna use my beauty blender. I'm not gonna use a brush. I kind of like to pat cream concealers in. Ooh, and I like the consistency. It's like smooth and creamy, but not like moisturizing creamy. Like it's gonna slide around or that's gonna like be too like moisturizing. It actually feels really, really nice. Oh my gosh, I'm really liking the consistency of this a lot. All right, so here's the eye. It does have the corrector on and the concealer. This one has nothing, just so you can see the complete comparison. I am loving the way this concealer lays on my skin. It kind of blends in and melts into the skin, yet it leaves behind incredible coverage and it looks fabulous. I am super excited about this concealer right now because I am loving the way this feels. So again, this eye has no corrector. So we're gonna apply the concealer with nothing else underneath it, just so we can see the coverage and how it lays and how it blends with just nothing underneath. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna kind of take some of the product right under the eye here, and I'm just gonna take my finger and again, just blend that and pat that in. Whenever I'm using my finger, I just kind of dab and just dot it into my skin. I don't like rub or anything like that. I just want to pat it and dab it into place. And that kind of sets itself. And like I said, this consistency is really nice where it's like creamy and smooth, but it's not like overly moisturizing. I am really loving this. All right, so here is the other side now with no corrector underneath. Let me look close up because I cannot even believe this right now. Like, Oh my gosh, my under eyes look insanely flawless, and you do not see concealer sitting under my eyes. You know, sometimes when you apply a concealer and it looks like it looks okay, but then when you look up close, you can see that you actually have like a more full coverage concealer on. This is a great coverage concealer, and I am telling you, it is flawless and like invisible under the eye. I am so picky when it comes to concealers. Like, you have no idea. So this looks so good. This is the palette that I have on my eyes today. It's the Glow Skin Beauty, the Mixed Metals. And this is the shade that I have on in the crease, like pretty much all throughout the crease. It's this middle, let's flip the right side of this brush around. It's the middle brown shade right here. So I'm gonna smudge this under the lash line as well. So I'm just taking my smudge brush and just smudging that shadow under the eyes to finish off the eye look. I always balance out everything. I just smudge a little shadow underneath. This is that Chikuhodo brush that I'm still in love with. It's the best smudger brush. I'm just taking my MAC Giga Black Lash Mascara on my lower lashes to finish off the eyes here. So now I'm just gonna set down the T-zone today. I'm not gonna set all over. I just wanna keep everything to the foundation, but I do wanna set just a little bit down the T-zone like I always do. So I'm gonna use my Osmosis Pressed Base in the shade Natural Medium. I always set my foundation with this powder, but I don't wanna set too much, obviously, because I wanna keep pretty much just the foundation as is. But I do wanna set just the T-zone with this powder because it really does just really make my T-zone area, like pores, just skin, look so flawless in the T-zone. And that's usually where I get a little bit more of my redness. If my redness peeks through, like that's where I want a little bit of extra like perfection and coverage. So this powder just really does the trick, and I love to set at least the T-zone with this powder every day. So just perfecting everything like that. So I'm gonna use my Hourglass bronzer today. This has just kind of been my bronzer go-to recently. It's the Luminous Bronze Light, and I've been pulling out again my Tom Ford bronzer brush. I've kind of like re-fallen in love with this darn expensive, crazy bronzer brush. So we're just gonna bronze up lightly and just give the skin a little bit of that bronzy glow. This bronzer just really gives the skin like that perfect bronzy glow. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. So for blush today, we're pulling out another oldie but goodie. These are the Becca Luminous Blushes. This is in the shade Camellia. This is another thing that I've kind of like thrown in my makeup stash, kind of forgot about, but I've been pulling these blushes back out again and just like rediscovering my love for them because they are, again, so beautiful, so smooth on the skin. They do give a little bit of that glow at the same time, and I just love them. And you're just gonna see how gorgeous these blushes are. I always get like a little bit and I just kind of sweep it all around, even on the forehead, just a little bit. Look at that. Oh my gosh, it is stunning. And then, you know what I pulled back out that I have not pulled out in years, but this used to be a go-to of mine? It's the Wet n Wild Color Icon. This is the bronzer. It's like, I don't even know what it is, some type of bronzer. Oh, Reserve Your Cabana. Do you guys remember this? So I don't use this obviously as a bronzer. It's insanely light. And what I used to do with this is I would take a little bit of this on the powder brush, but it's perfect to just clean up the edges of like your bronzer and your blush and just keep everything, you know, not towards the center of your face. I want to make sure everything kind of stays outwards more when you just apply it and then blend your face products with it. Like, I love it. So I've been pulling that out again. I'm kind of rediscovering and pulling out all these old products, which has been fun. But a new love of mine that I cannot stop wearing. This is probably one of the best highlighters of life, is that Anastasia and Amrezy highlighter. Oh my gosh, if you do not have this highlighter, I am telling you, you need this highlighter. Like, it is that good. I can't put it down every single day. I look forward to applying this to my skin. And I like to get super glowy. I always add a little bit like around the brow area and just kind of like curve it around like that. And then I'm gonna take it on the Cupid's bow area. And then I always take a little bit on the chin too. Especially because this is a more matte foundation anyway, and I like my glow. You can go a little bit more with your glow, like with your highlighters and stuff. And then again, I'm just gonna take that powder brush and just clean up and make sure it's all blended. Guys, I am loving this foundation. Loving the way this looks on my skin. Seriously, so beautiful right now. I'm really, really impressed. Everything is just working so well together. Loving it. It's a good makeup day. I love when you're like doing your makeup and you're like, this is a good makeup day. All right, we're gonna finish up with the lips. I'm taking my Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude Lip Liner. And then I'm gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury Kim KW lipstick. And then finishing it all off, I'm gonna use the Glow Skin Beauty. This is the lip gloss in Cupcake. Okay, there you have it. There's my finished makeup look for the day. I'm ready to face the world. I am loving the way everything turned out. I am so impressed with the foundation. So impressed with the concealer right now. I am very, very, very happy right now. So I have my fingers crossed that the rest of the day, if it stays looking like this, then we found two amazing, amazing products. So I'm gonna go throughout my day. I'll check back in with you guys later. I am gonna be running around all day today. I have a very busy day. So it's like the perfect day to kind of check the wear on everything. We'll see how everything holds up. So I'm gonna go throughout my day. I'll see you guys later, and yeah, we'll just see then. I'll see you guys soon. All right, guys, I'm back. It is now after 6 o'clock. It's like 6:15. So 6:15, I am winding down for the day. I'm getting ready to make dinner. My kids are downstairs saying how starving they are. So we're gonna wrap up this video. It has been a long, long, busy, crazy day today. I have not touched up in the slightest. You can see my lipstick is even gone. I have not sat down at all. It's been one of those days where you're just like going, going, going. But I have done a quick little glance or two in the mirror throughout the day just to kind of see how things were going. So I definitely have my thoughts, but we are going to kind of, really give it the final test here and really look at everything super close up and just see how everything is looking, holding up, because I did put this makeup on this morning. I think when I wrapped up my video this morning, it was around like 10 o'clock this morning. So now we're at the end of the day. It's after 6 o'clock. So let's just kind of see how everything looks. So the first thing I noticed, like when I'm looking in the mirror, just normal distance, like normal distance away that you would be from somebody, my skin looks flawless. The foundation is holding up so beautifully. With that primer that I used, I still look like I have no pores. The lines are minimized. Everything looks so perfect yet. I am loving the way that this foundation has held up. I did not touch up at all. I do have a slight glow going on, but again, I actually like that little bit of a glow, so that's not a problem for me. I like how my skin kind of just looks a little bit more natural and not so matte right now. So obviously if you have more oily skin or you don't want that little bit of a glow, you can just touch up throughout the day and just quick blot or whatever you want to do. But going for as long as I did without touching up just to have that slight glow is fine with me. I like it. Now looking at the concealer, again, normal distance before we zoom in here. The concealer, I will say, is actually pretty good. It's not holding up to like my high standards. It's kind of fading off a little bit, and this is what happens with all concealers. This is why I really have just been sticking to my Dermablend Liquid Camo, because it's the only one that lasts all day. Like I don't even have to think about it. It's just perfect. This one I can see has just faded off a little bit, and it's always in those like dark areas. It's always like right over the only areas that I am dark, which are just right in here. It fades away slightly. Now it's not horrible, and kind of just looking at it, the one that has the corrector on it underneath has held up just slightly better than the side that doesn't have anything. But I can see like everything looks flawless though. Like the concealer is not caking at all. It doesn't even look like I have concealer on yet. It still looks like it's just my skin. Like that is an impressive concealer. So I'm gonna zoom in so you guys can get a really good look at my skin and the foundation. I think the foundation is just holding up so well. My skin just looks so perfect yet. So I am really impressed with that. If you can see the under eyes, I'm really actually impressed with the under eye concealer as well. It feels amazing. It looks amazing. It doesn't look like I have concealer under my eyes at all. Hopefully you guys can see that. And then if you notice, it's just fading away just a little bit. Just do you see how that little bit of darkness is coming through right here? And just right here, like I said, I am extremely picky. So some of you might be thinking like, oh my gosh, like that is nothing. But I am very picky. Like I said, it looks amazing, but comparing it to my Dermablend, the Dermablend does hide the darkness all day long. So it's just something, just comparing it to my absolute favorite concealer. Now I do think that this one has better, ingredients in it. So I really am happy with the way that this has held up. So what do you guys think? Have you tried either of these products yet? How did they last for you? How did they wear for you? I am honestly really impressed by both of them. I would definitely actually recommend both of them. Now, the foundation I will recommend more if you have more normal to oily skin. If you have more dry skin, you probably don't want a matte foundation anyway, so I'm not sure how that's gonna hold up and work for you. But if you have normal to oily skin, I think you're gonna absolutely love it. And as I said, I'm actually loving it more like as the day goes on. When that little bit of glow starts coming through, like it looks so flawless. So I would definitely recommend the foundation, normal to oily skin. You will be happy with that. The concealer, I mean, honestly, it's really good. It's holding up better than a lot of mine. And honestly, looking at it super up close, you do not look like you have concealer on. That is impressive. Like for how good the coverage is, it looks like you have nothing on. And it's not caking and it's not creasing or anything like that. So this concealer is holding up very well. Oh, and you know what? We actually didn't powder underneath the under eyes today either, remember? So we didn't set the under eyes with any powder. So, what I'm gonna actually do is I'm gonna test this concealer out tomorrow with powder. Like I'm gonna set my under eyes with powder, and then I'll let you guys know in the description box again how that holds up, because even that, just a little bit of powder underneath might even make it hold onto those like dark areas of my eye even better. So I will do another like little update down below for you guys with another day of trying with the powder. So I'll keep you guys posted with that. But like I said, honestly, I would recommend this concealer. I think it is beautiful under the eye. I mean, really, truly, you don't see it. Like it is so great. I mean, I could not be more impressed right now. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed these reviews. I will link all the products that I used today in the description box so you can open that up for more info. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed these reviews, and also don't forget to hit the subscribe and the bell notification. Don't forget that darn bell notification so that you get notified when I post a video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.